Okay, hello YouTubers, this is Yvonne, Yoli Lover EL. I'm coming to you with today's tutorial. I'm going to show you how I do a character from start to finish. The character I'm working on today is One Eye. He's a character of the Wolf Riders fan animation I'm trying to do. And since I'm doing it by myself, it has taken a lot longer than I thought it would. But anyway, let's get started. The first thing I need to do is start a bone layer, and I'm going to call this bone layer One Eye. One Eye front, because he has other positions that I'm going to have to do eventually, and I need to know which direction that character is. So after that, I add a layer, and this will be the base of his face. Put that inside of the One Eye bone layer, and then select group and title this one Heads. And inside of that group layer, I'm going to put another group layer, and I'm going to name it Front. And put the front head layer, front view inside of Heads, and then put base inside of Front. Inside of Front. Get in there. Okay. Now that I got that set up, I'm going to zoom in so that I can see him better, and come to the shape tools, picking the oval tool. I'm going to make oval for his face, approximately about the right size for his face. Center the bottom point on the middle of his chin. Come up to scripts, draw, split curve, and split the curve at a number 3, because I need these extra points to make his jawline. And then selecting the points, I'm now going to speed it up while I tweak these points to match the picture. Okay, as you saw, I pulled the points on this side out some, and I need to pull the points on this side in just a little, just to get these jaw lines to match up a little better. Okay, now the next thing to do is his cheekbones. I'm going to create another oval and select the select the top and bottom points and sharpen those points to a sharp point. These elves have very prominent cheekbones, so that when I draw them, I have to make sure to put the cheekbones separate from the actual face layer. And let me tweak that to smooth it out. Okay, then I'm going to select this, Control C to copy, Control V to paste, flip horizontal, hold down the shift and move it over. Gonna line up that this point with the outline of his face, rather than trying to line this point up with this one, because as you know, no drawing that you, at least I do, is never symmetrical, so one side will be a little bit off from the other. Okay, then selecting the oval tool again, gonna create an oval for his eye, and select these 2 points and sharpen them, and then create the eye. Okay, and then that little fold of skin above where your eyelid is, turn off the auto weld so these lines will stop trying to click to each other. Now do that line in 3 points, And one eye, since he only has one eye, I do not have to copy and paste his eye over to the other side. So I'll go on to the next point, which will be the mouth. Open it up. Select the two outer points. Sharpen those. Then with the points tool, I'm gonna, what is the name of that thing? The add points tool. I'm gonna add 3 points to make his mouth, and then turn back on the auto weld, connect to the outer side of the mouth, and then adjust these points to make his mouth. Select all the points and bring his mouth in just a little bit. It's a little bit too big. These elves tend to have small mouths, small noses. So there we go. Now the elves of ElfQuest, most of the men have thin lips, and there's not much to it. And so I depict their lips with just a line. Now selecting the oval tool again, I'm going to put a line, a circle around his mouth. Add a couple of more points for, oh, excuse me. Oh, forgive me. I got to edit that out of there. Okay. Add some extra points to his mouth. Add the extra points to his mouth. And then I'm going to, should have did this right after I did the eye, but I'm going to copy the base and call that eye. And on this layer, I'm going to select everything but the eye and delete it. That's why I should have did this right after I did the eye. And then coming back down here, I'm going to remove that line from above his eye and delete it. Now, everything on his face is ready. I have his eye, his cheeks, and his mouth. So now I need to import another character who I've already done, Cutter, to get his skin tone from him for one eye. Okay, going back into, nope, that's Cutter. Going back into one eye, back to base, scroll out. Where is Cutter? There he is. Turn those words off. Just put him up here so he's close enough for me to get the colors from him. Okay, now select the eye, hold down shift, select the outer circle of his mouth and select his head. Hit space, then select the cheek, hold down shift, hit the other cheek and hit space. Then coming up to hide the line, we're going to hide all the lines of his eye. Going to hide all the lines of this outer circle and the 2 lines of his cheek on the outside of his cheek. Zooming in, we're going to taper these lines down to 0. Selecting both those lines at the same time. I'm going to taper them down to a 0.5. For some reason in Anime Studio, you can't select more than 1 point when you're on the adjust the width. So you have to go back up and do the translate line to adjust the width on your lines. Come here, we're going to totally zero out that. Select all the lines at points at the top of his head and take them out. And now I need to tweak his chin just a little more for my satisfaction. Move that jaw point all the way up to that, almost to that halfway point in his head. Now create a shape. I'm going to select the mouth, hold down shift, and select the outer part, hit enter. We're going to turn this line width down to a 0.5. Okay, now select the points of the bottom lip and hit space, enter. Gonna hide this line and this line, and we're going to taper this line and this line and bring that one up a little. Control R to render just to see what that's looking like. Okay. Oh, I forgot something. In your project settings, come here and make sure that your project settings is to YouTube HD. Come into his upper lips. Gonna bring those up to a 1. Let's try a 2. That's better. Now going up to the next layer, going to his eye. Going to select the oval tool again, and we're going to put an oval around the eye. And we're going to sharpen one point. And then adjust these other points around the eye to put a shadow around his eye. Turn the base down so that I can see better. Okay. Then we'll select the shape. Gonna select the eye, hold down shift, select the outer circle of the eye, hit enter. Then select the fold of the undo. Okay, that's it. Select the eye, shift, select the outer outer circle, hit space. That'll give you a dark circle around the eye. I want that to be a size 2. Then select that small point in the fold of the eye. Blah. Can't talk anymore. Ugh. Select the color from his ear. Hit enter. Okay. Hide all the lines to the outer circle on his eye. Zoom in. Hide cutter. Just taper these points down. all these points down. Taper the front and the back. Taper this point down to a 5. Okay, and that's his eye. Next is the nose. So vector, nose, the nose. I use the rectangle tool. Adjust the points slightly. When I'm tweaking, I don't talk, so excuse me for the silence. Okay, then sharpen the points right at the corners of the nostrils. And at the edge of the eye, well, that one's already sharp. Edge of the eye. Going to turn back on base to get his color. Then turn this down to a 1. And why is his base saying that he's way higher than he should be? That's only supposed to be a 2. Come on, machine, work with me. What's wrong with you all of a sudden? Okay. Now back up to the nose where we were. Turn that down to a 1. And select the nose. Space. Enter. Hide the top line and the side line. This one and this one. Taper this line and this line. Taper all the ends down to a 0. And then tweak the rest of the points. And take a look. Okay. Now for this soft edge around his eye that gives it the smoky look, that is at a soft edge at a 5. Now after that, we go to the next layer, which is his brow. B-R-O-W. And since he only has one eye, he only has one brow. And one eye has a dark brown hair, so I'll pick a brown and the darker brown right up under it at a 0.5 for his eyebrow. Come up here to create a shape and pick the rectangle. Just tweak some points. Curve that one. Add some extra points. Select it, space, enter. And there's his eyebrow at the top. Now this is something I do with it, the ones who have 2 eyes and have a forehead showing, but I'm going to do it to 1 eye too just because I do it to everybody else. 0.5. I need the skin color. Picking the bottom outer point of his eyebrow, I make 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th point connects back to the end of his eyebrow. Selecting the eyebrow, Hold down Shift, select the line above the eyebrow, turn off the points at the underside of the eyebrow, and hit Enter, draw, lower to the back. That will take that shape all the way to the back. Zoom in just a smidgen. Need to add a couple of more points. A point very close there and very close there. And then turn off these two, but hide to zooming out to a point of 0 on those two. And bring this point as close to his eyebrow as you can get it, so that it's not seen. Turn everything back on. Now you need to go down to his eye. And you see how this is coming way out this far? Just bring it over. This one's over too far. Bring it over till it meets up with that eyebrow. The nose. Put a little bit more of a curve in it. And then Control R to preview. There's a line there that shouldn't be. So let's see where that's coming from. First, to see if it's the brow causing the problem. Yes, it is. And I probably know what that is. It's happened before. And I don't know why it does it, but it does. Let's erase that. And select that again. Do that. Oh. For some reason, I don't know why, with Anime Studio, if there are 2 points that are too close together, it has problems filling in the shape. If you get that same problem, let me know. But I get that problem all the time with Anime Studio if I got 2 points too close together. It gives me some kind of weird hickamajoo going on. Let's try it again. Control R to preview. Okay, see, now that line is gone and you can't see this, but you see those 2 little points right there? That's what I need to bring in. That's these little points right here. Just bring them in as close as you can to that eye point without overlapping. Okay, now one eye, because he has one eye, he also has an eye patch. That's the next item. Vector, eye patch. Okie dokie. Now on the eye patch, let's turn off the brow so I can see it. Okay, one eye has an eye patch and he has on a hat. And his eye patch goes up under his hat. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make it bigger from here to here. And bring it up under there. Now let's make the lines for the eye patch. Now normally I listen to music when I'm doing this, but since I'm trying to do the narration while I'm doing it, I can't actually listen to music. And the music I listen to, I'll probably get one of those. You've got music on your soundtrack that's Not authorized by YouTube, and it won't be seen and heard in some countries. Blah, 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 blah. And I go, okay. And then if I go looking for music on YouTube for the musics that they give you, it's like, can they not make deals with people to get a little bit better music? But, hey, go for what you know. Anyway, that's his eye patch. The eye patch is a simple dark brown, which is what I'm going to use for both the inner and the outer color. And since they're both the same color, the line width really doesn't matter. Now, after the eye patch comes his hat. Now, with his hat, let me put in hat. I'm going to say front. Hat front, because there's a big long tail piece to the back of his hat. I'm going to be doing this part of his hat right here and leaving an open space right here for the back piece. So first comes this, then the headband, then the hat. So start off first here and zoom in so I can see better because I'm half blind most of the time. Okay. I'm not half blind. I'm only partially blind. Oh Lord, come on. Trying to get into a groove so I can get this thing done in under an hour. One person made a comment, which I think only one person did make a comment, of how fast I do this stuff. I wasn't moving fast in that other video. That video was sped up. I mean, tremendously. There was speeding up in that thing like crazy. It takes me a couple of hours to do my characters. And that's not even counting in the rigging. I'm just talking about a couple hours just to get the character drawn out and the body parts put in. You start talking about rigging and good Lord, it's going to take, ooh, that takes a while. Okay, now the next square for the headband, the band around his hat. And again, I am not the creator of these ElfQuest characters. They're created by a wonderful group of artist and writer, Wendy and Richard Penny. And if you don't know their artwork, go over to elfquest.com under the comics section and read ElfQuest, and you will become as big a fan as I am. I know they have millions and millions of, well, at least thousands and thousands, probably millions, I don't know. They've made a living at it, so it must be enough fans of ElfQuest out there. And I'm going to keep this part of the band into the hat section because this part is going to be in front and this will be behind. Okay, now the last part is the top of the hat, and I'm going to add some points onto here and connect it that way. Now everything that's over here will be part of the hat that's behind his head. So let me just tweak the points to get his hat on and straight and lines moved over from here to there. I'm blind, I need to zoom in because I'm so blind. Scoot the head down so I can see. And forgive me for the way I'm talking because that's just what I do when I don't have music. I start talking in a sing-song voice. I can't help it. Okay. And that's that. His hat is a regular green with dark green outline. with a very light green band. So, see, in what order are we going to do this? I'm going to do this part first. Shift. Okay, and then we're going to do, then, if you find me talking in the third person, forgive me. I don't know why I do that. Okay, then we're going to do the headband, which is a lighter green, but we're going to keep the same dark green outline. Then we're going to go back down to this band and go back to the color of the top of the hat. And I just saw what I did wrong. I forgot to include the lines. So hold down shift. Ooh, I hate that shift sign. Why does it have to follow? Okay, now enter. Ah, wrong color. Now enter. And then come down here to this one. Hold down shift. And space bar. Ah, select the color. Space bar. Enter. Oh, good Lord. Come on. Select all the points. Come down to width. And turn all these points to a 2. Taper off these end points. Need another point right there to adjust the width of the line. Okay, make sure these lines are an actual 2. Whatever. I don't get it. I don't know what's wrong with Anime Studio and the line width today. Let's check it. Good. Control S to save. Hide this line and that line. Those lines won't be seen because the back of the head will be there. Okay, now next, between brow and eye patch, I'm gonna add a layer for his sideburns. So turn off all these items that are gonna be in my way. Vector, and call it sideburn. And this will be his left sideburn. Okay, come back up here to shape. Pick the triangle. I'm going to need 2 for this sideburn. Under the hat level. If you're hearing static, that's my speakers. For the longest, I wasn't paying attention that they were on, and I was wondering where that staticky noise was coming from. Okay. Then the second sideburn, or the second part of the sideburn. And I should be watching Jeopardy right now, but I don't want the sounds of Jeopardy to be on my recording. It's about 6:30 in the afternoon. Okay, then turning back on his brows so I can get his hair color. His hair is the same color as his eyebrows. Only the line width is different. It should be a 2. And I hope it gives me a 2 and not a 2.93. I don't know what's wrong with it today. That looks awfully big for a 2. I bet it's giving me a 2.93 again. Ah, that was wrong. I have no idea what's going on with the line widths today. I'm going 1.5 instead of a 2. Okay, taper the ends. Adjust the width. And hide the top lines. And this one should be on the outside. Like I said, when I'm tweaking, I don't talk much. Okay, then you take sideburn left, copy it, and call it sideburn right. Control A to select all the points. Flip, shift, move it over. Need the eye patch and the hat on so that you can see where you're moving that to, which is right there. Okay. And how much time has gone by? 42 minutes. Control S to save. Okay, now the next item, I've done everything above his head. Now it's to work on the items below his head. So let's turn all these things off. Come down to base, add a vector shape, and this is ear, left, and pull base above that. Turn it off so I can see the ear. Select the rectangle tool. Oh, not the triangle. Okay. That's for the outside of his earlobe, the tip of his ear, and then the 2 points hidden behind the skin. Set the points for his earlobe. And then start shaping the ear. And there you have the shape of one elf ear. Let's do the lines for the inner ear. Okay. Then let's sharpen the points, the ends of these lines. And bring him back his face. Need to get his skin color. Select the ear. Skin color. Turn on his eye. Select the line color for the fold in the skin, not the line color for the outside, because otherwise you'll get a black line. I want this dark line in it. So select that. Enter, select that, shift, let go of these points, enter, then just select that line, shift, let go of these points, and hit enter. Okay, hide the outer lines. Then taper these lines and adjust the width as your fashion sense says to. Whether it says leave them thick, make them thin, do whatever you so desire. Need another point right there. Okay, and that's an ear. You duplicate that ear, call it the right ear. Control A to select all the points. Flip horizontal. Hold down shift and move the ear over. Aren't you, sweetie?
Mama just left with Kay.
Okay. Take that ear out so you can see the loop of the ear. At least, even I explained it to you before, this side is going to be a little off because it's not symmetrical, but that's okay. Now, above ear, you're going to add another vector layer and name it EB. For me, that's eyeball. Going to select the oval tool, hold down shift because you do want this one to be a perfect oval. Make sure that it fits completely behind the lines of the eye. Zoom in some. Then we're going to do a Control C, a Control V, and then an S to scale it. I'm going to scale that down. Then we're going to do another Control C, Control V, and an S to scale it again. For the pupil, first is the eyeball, the iris, the pupil. Then we're going to do that one more time. Control C, Control V, and scale it for the highlight. I'm going to move the highlight. Nope, that's not the highlight. Going to move the highlight over to the side. And for one eye, it's a light brown. If I am wrong on its color, and any EfQuest fan sees this, and you see one eye does not have a brown eye, then feel free to let me know what color his eyes really are, because I can't find a picture anywhere that gives me a good clear shot of what color his eye is. So I'm making it brown. And I'm going to make it a graduate color. Gradient color. What am I talking about graduate? It's not graduating school or anything. Okay. In Anime Studio 9, you can no longer just highlight and copy, right click and copy. You actually have to hit Control C to copy this code. And then you have to hit Control V to get it in there. On Anime Studio 8, you could right click, copy, right click, paste. But you can't do that in Anime Studio 9. In Anime Studio 9, you actually have to hit Control C, Control V. For a minute, when I first started doing it, I thought, man, they left that feature out. Why would they leave that feature out? That was such a cool feature. But they didn't leave it out. They just changed it, which made it not as cool, but still okay. Okay, now select his iris. Select the iris. Hit space, enter, and then bring down the iris shade to right up under it. Okay, I guess I need color back again. And the reason why I'm getting these colors off of him is so that everybody is uniform and I won't have 900 different shades of grays and greens and skins and all that. Okay, so now his eyeball color is the gray that I just got from Cutter's Eye. I'm going to hit space and then move it to the back of his iris. See all that extra gray that's showing? So I need to come over here, pull this handle up, and that'll move the gray out to the edges more. Okay, now select the shape, zoom in, select the shape. Gonna be black on the inside, black on the outside. Hit space, no stroke, take off the gradient and put it back onto plane. Say OK. Highlight, it's going to be white on white. Space, take off the stroke. Say OK. And there is, whoops, the line width on this eye should be a 1, not a 2. I don't want a really thick line. Then Control R, just so I can see that eye. It's got to load in. Isn't Cutter so beautiful? Oh, anyway, one eye. There's the graduate. Gradient. Why do I keep saying graduate? Gradient of his eye. And then the next thing, go back down to ear, vector layer. And you're going to put in the teeth. And one eye really doesn't talk a lot, but he should still have teeth. In fact, I think in the first episode, the man doesn't say a word. Oh. Cutter, I need you to open your mouth. I need to see your teeth. Cutter, who is the main character who talks a lot, has more detailed teeth than anybody else. which I might change. I might change him, but at the moment he has very detailed teeth. Yee. Put his base back. No, put his lips back on. Okay. Auto fill, auto stroke, because his teeth do not require a lot. And I'm going to change his stroke down to a 0.5. And bring those down just a smidgen. Then make his top teeth, which are always, when I do them, a little bit wider than the bottom teeth. And then go up here to script, draw, split curve, and I don't believe I want that a 3, I think it's a 2. Yep. Come here, gonna add a little point because the cutter and his band of wolf riders have wolf blood in them, and so because of that their canines stick down quite a bit. I don't know why sometimes you hit this and it doesn't take. Come on, sharp point that. It is refusing to give me a sharp point. Yep, it's refusing to give me a sharp point. Maybe later it'll give me a sharp point when I don't want it. So right now it's refusing to give it to me. Oh well. Holding down shift and selecting these outer points. I'm gonna move them up just a smidgen. Okay, that's his top teeth. Let's go back to base and open his mouth up a little more. Okay, now back to ear, last layer, and it is tongue. It takes me about an hour to do a head. /IS, which is the inside of the mouth. I use this dark purple for the inside of the mouth. No stroke, just the purple. And then for the tongue, I use this pink, and for the outside, I use that pink right up under it. And the tongue is circle. Yeah. Circle, line, little hump here, little hump there, 2 extra bumps here, 2 extra bumps there. Select it all and color it. Then bring that whole tongue down. Press it up a little. Yeah, there we go. And turn back on all these things again. Control S to save. Control R to view. And there is One Eye's head. Okay, thank you for joining me on this. This recording took 59 minutes to do his head from start to finish. Well, to do the front part of his head from start to finish. The next thing we're going to go to is his chest and his neck. So, let's reset the view. Okay. On the next one, we're going to be covering as much as we can in an hour, but it will hopefully be his chest, his shirt that he has on, and his neck. Okay, until next time, which hopefully won't be as long as last time. My computer had issues and it took me a while to get it fixed. So that's it for now. Please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more anime studio tutorials. So until next time, bye bye.